So we're going to pause as we're going through Leviticus 9, and we're going to look at other instances in which you see fire consuming an offering. The first one that I want to flip to is in Judges 6. Judges 6. So turn to Judges 6 with me, and we're going to be reading, talking about Gideon. Judges 6. Judges 6. The whole chapter of 6 is all about Gideon. And Gideon is just an individual who is called out to be a leader. And this is a great story of an instance in which an angel appears to a normal everyday person and says, hey, I'm going to use you, and I'm going to use you to lead Israel to destroy the Midianites, who were a far superior force. And I love how Gideon's like, yeah, no, pardon me, but I think you got the wrong guy. Very similar to Moses with the burning bush. But so verse 17, so the angel speaks to him and says, I'm going to use you. And verse 17, Gideon replied, if now I've found favor in your eyes, give me a sign that it is really you talking to me. So Gideon asks God for a sign that is this real? This vision that I'm seeing, I want to know that this is real. I want a sign. And we know Gideon asks for several signs. So it's not out of his character to do so. And then so the angel of the Lord tells him to go and bring an offering and tells him how to prepare it. And then in verse 21, then the angel of the Lord touched the meat and the unleavened bread with the tip of the staff that was in his hand. Fire flared from the rock, consuming the meat and the bread. And the angel of the Lord disappeared. When Gideon realized that it was the angel of the Lord, he exclaimed, alas, sovereign Lord, I have seen the angel of the Lord face to face. It's an instance where God, to honor and to show his approval, uses fire to consume an offering. What's another one? 1 Kings 18. Flip further into the Old Testament. 1 Kings chapter 18. 1 Kings chapter 18. All of 18 is an amazing story of Elijah with a J, Elijah on Mount Carmel. And I love the story. I mean, it's one of my favorites. And this is the story of, you have King Ahab and his wife Jezebel, and they have taken Israel, and they are now worshiping the false god of Baal and Asherah. And this is an instance where Elijah calls Israel to come up to Mount Carmel and to prove. Elijah says, let's prove whose God is real. Is the god Baal real? What about Asherah? Is he real? And Elijah does a test to see which God is real. And the test is, Elijah says, you've got all these prophets, 450 prophets of Baal. Set up an offering, an altar for the Lord, and I'll set up an offering as well. And whosever offering is consumed by fire from heaven will know that God is real. And so, as the story goes, the sun comes up, and the prophets of Baal set up their altar, the wood altar, and they take their animal and they cut it open to be sacrificed. And then they start wailing, they start screaming, they start pleading with Baal, all-powerful Baal, to come and consume this offering with fire. And nothing's happening. Midday, nothing's happening. They start cutting themselves, bloodletting, going through this whole process of screaming, pleading, Baal, please come and do this. And it's quite funny and entertaining to see what Elijah does in taunting. He's like, oh, you got to scream louder. You got to do more. Your God must be traveling, or he might be relieving himself using the bathroom. Like, he's taunting them. Come on, scream louder. Do more. Your God's going to come. And it goes all the way until sunset. So sunrise to sunset, the prophets of Baal are doing all these things and nothing happens. And then let's pick it up on verse 36. At the time of the sacrifice, the prophet Elijah stepped forward and prayed, Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel and that I am your servant and have done all these things at your command. Answer me, Lord, answer me. So these people will know that you, Lord, are God and that you are turning their hearts back again. So before this, Elijah had set up the altar and put the animal on it. But then he had 3 rounds of water drenched over the top of the wood pile, as well as the trench around the altar. Verse 38, then fire of the Lord fell and burned up the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, and the soil, and also licked up the water of the trench. When the people saw this, they fell prostrate and cried, the Lord, he is God. The Lord, he is God. Another instance, 2 Chronicles 7, verses 1 through 3. Another instance of the Lord consuming an offering with fire. 2 Chronicles chapter 7, beginning at verse 1. When Solomon finished praying, let me just preface this. This is the dedication of the temple. So we've had the tabernacle, the tent, when the people are moving from place to place to place. And then King David says, Lord, I have a temple. Let me build you a temple. He says, I have a home. I have a dwelling place. And that's King David's, the house of David. But God says, no, your hands have blood on them. I'll leave it for your son. So his son, Solomon, is the one that's put in charge of building the temple. Now, King David had the location, had the supplies put together, but King Solomon is the one who actually oversees the building of the first temple. And this is the dedication of the temple. 2 Chronicles 7. When Solomon finished praying, fire came down from heaven and consumed the burnt offering and the sacrifices. And the glory of the Lord filled the temple. The priest could not enter the temple of the Lord because the glory of the Lord filled it. When all the Israelites saw the fire coming down and the glory of the Lord above the temple, they knelt on the pavement with their faces to the ground, and they worshipped and gave thanks to the Lord, saying, He is good. His love endures forever. I love the response that we see here. 2 Chronicles 7:3, they knelt on the pavement with their faces on the ground. They went prostrate, just straight down onto the pavement, onto the ground, and they sang, He is good, His love endures forever. Same thing with 1 Kings 18:39. They fell prostrate and cried, The Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God. And we see the same thing in our passage today, going back to Leviticus, the end of 9. Moses and Aaron then went into the tent of meeting. When they came out, they blessed the people, and the glory of the Lord appeared to all the people. Fire came out from the presence of the Lord and consumed the burnt offering and the fat portions on the altar. When all the people saw it, they shouted for joy and fell face down.